What up, everybody? My name is Alex Hernandez,
My name is Matthew Lynn, but you can call me Matt.
and this week is that time of the year, man. Playoffs is officially in,
Yes, sir. Playoffs, man.
and it's when it gets more intense. Shoot, I don't know where to start. I mean, we got the Suns competing, we got the Warriors, the Heat, Nets, Bucks. Who made it out again? Bulls, right?
The Bulls, Bulls are there.
Surprisingly.
Look at the current standings right now. So at the time of this recording, we have the Grizzlies and Timberwolves playing. Memphis Grizzlies are leading 2-1 right now.
Grizzlies.
Yeah, and it looks like I want to say the Timberwolves might tie this series. We also had the Mavericks versus the Jazz today, and they tied the series, or the Jazz did.
Yeah.
It was a really close game, 99-100.
Luka,
And then the Boston Celtics are up 3-0 against the Nets.
What? No way.
Yeah, that was today, which was ridiculous.
Hey, we were talking about the Nets. My whole video about them.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense to me that they are down 3 games, the Nets, against the Celtics.
You think it's that Ben Simmons effect or not? Nah.
No, I mean he hasn't even played a game yet.
Oh, he hasn't. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
but apparently Ben Simmons is going to come back to play Game 4, which is this next game, and this guy's going to play like one game before his team gets swept.
That's
Pretty
sad.
much.
That's sad. Shit. I thought he was playing.
That series is pretty much over to me. I mean, there's no team that's ever came back being 3-0.
Bro, I mean, can you imagine if that makes it breaking World Star? Like, you wake up one day, you see World Star, Nets are having sweep.
Yeah, it's gonna be all over the media.
No, that's just crazy to me because
there's so much high expectations
Yeah.
from that Nets team.
Obviously.
Like, beginning of the season, everyone was saying, "Oh, it's gonna be the Nets versus the Lakers." And then guess what? You had the Lakers that been they didn't even make the playoffs. They couldn't even get past the play-in tournament. But
all LeBron's fault.
I wouldn't say fun, but he was averaging like the most points like in the league at like 39 years old, which is ridiculous. But I had to blame it on the injuries such as like Anthony Davis.
Oh, that's it.
That guy got injured like 3 different times in this season. And who else? Who else did they have on their team? I can't remember, but anyways, the Celtics versus the Nets. So it looks like it could be a clean sweep for the Nets, or they could take this next game, the Nets. But I still see the Celtics beating him in this series.
Wow, man, that's crazy.
That's gonna be a pretty big disappointment in my opinion.
Damn, the owner, man, gave up a lot of assets to build that team. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be real shocking to see they get eliminated by the Celtics. You expect they'll get eliminated with a good established team like the Heat or Sixers, but Celtics, come on, man. Anyway, man, who else is on it?
We have I'm trying to pull up. Well, tomorrow we have the Bucks versus the Bulls.
What's the series?
That's a pretty interesting series. Currently the Bucks are up 2-1 in this series,
Okay, they are championship.
but I see the Bucks taking this series in my opinion.
Yeah.
The Bulls haven't been really pulling through this.
Hey, give them credit though. They made it.
They made it to the playoffs, but
Been a while, but
playoffs are different compared to the regular season. You can have like the best record, but still not make it far in the playoffs. We've seen it time and time again. And then the Warriors are up 3-0 against the Nuggets.
man, okay, Nuggets.
I wish I had a broom.
Oh yeah,
That's like a clean sweep right there.
We should have done that for the
Yeah.
Nets.
Yeah, clean sweep right there.
Oh,
I feel sorry for the Nuggets. They only have Nikolai Jokic. Jamal Murray is injured, and who's the other guy? Michael Porter Jr. He's injured as well. So they're really missing a lot of their good players.
yeah, I've been seeing videos about him on Instagram about Hustle highlights. Him getting a bit more aggressive, mad pretty much.
Yeah.
They keep losing, so I mean I don't blame him.
Yeah, I mean they made it to the playoffs and only to see either watch their team lose or get swept, pretty much. And then we have the Heat versus the Hawks, the Heat and Hawks series.
That's a good series right there.
The Heat are up 2-1 right now, as of time of this recording. And who would I predict in winning this series? I would say the Heat. Jimmy Butler has been on fire ever since he's been on that team, in my opinion. They also have Bam Adebayo. They have some good role players like Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson.
Is that guy that we traded for? Has he been playing? Victor Oladipo? Do you know?
No, I don't think so.
No.
I haven't really heard from him ever since we traded.
Right.
Yeah.
I was just curious.
I don't even know if he's playing, and I don't think they even really need him, to be honest.
That's what you want to
Yeah.
do.
Unfortunately, that guy is very injury prone, so that could be another reason they probably don't want to play him, or I don't know what his current situation is. But also we have the Suns versus the Pelicans. The Suns are leading 2-1 in this series, and my take is the Suns.
If they stay healthy, man. If they can stay healthy. I mean, Zion's a beast and all that, and Brandon Ingram can be a threat, but we gotta give it to Chris Paul, man. Chris Paul.
And they recently just lost Devin Booker to, I think it was a hamstring injury.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah. He's out for a couple weeks, so it's pretty devastating. But I know that team can pull through as long as they have Chris Paul and all those other players on that team.
Chris Paul gotta turn that switch point guard mode.
Yeah. I think, with the last game, I think he scored like 14 points or something like that.
Who? CP3?
Yeah, just in the fourth quarter alone. 14 points.
That don't sound like him.
Yeah, he's a pretty clutch player, in my opinion.
Oh, I'm probably getting that wrong.
Yeah, when he was on OKC playing the Rockets in that one series, he was going off like in the clutch. Like a minute to go in the fourth quarter, he was going off. Yeah, Chris Paul is not the guy that would fold under pressure. And,
you seen it? You know,
James Harden. Sorry.
Boy, that. You seen that.
So what else we have on here? We have the Raptors and 76ers series.
Sixers.
Sixers are up 3-1 in this series. Looks like it's going to be Sixers taking this series, obviously.
I think I saw earlier in the week they were making a joke about Joel Embiid and Drake about how they're going to get swept, the Raptors.
Yeah.
But I see that they picked it up, man.
Almost, they
got
could
it
have.
going.
Yeah, that last game, they saved themselves from getting swept. But 76ers are going to take this series easily, in my opinion.
We could probably see that with Nets and who's the other team you said that? I believe it was against the Bucks. Oh, the Bulls, right?
No, it's 2-1.
2-1.
Yeah, the Bucks are up 2-1.
Anyway, that's how I remember Emerson Nets. That's surprising. So that's what's making stand out.
Yep, I think that's the current
That's the whole
teams.
roster.
Yeah, the current teams that are playing in the playoffs right now.
All right. So, man, like I mentioned before, out of the Western Conference, man, I would love to see go at it the Warriors and the Suns.
Yeah.
That's like wow.
Two of the best point guards in the league going at each other.
Going at it, man.
Yeah.
If both teams can have their well, Booker, I don't know how long he's gonna be out. You said
I think 2 or 3 weeks. But by the time they even get to the Western Conference Finals, they'll be back for sure.
all right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like if
Yeah, that's if they get to the Western Conference Finals.
that's what I'm saying. I hope Chris Paul don't push himself.
Yeah. Chris Paul is finally going to get his revenge against the team that he's lost multiple times year after year. So I would love to see him beat that Warriors team.
Yeah.
To get that nice, sweet revenge. You know, he was so close with us on the Rockets until he got that hamstring injury back in the 2017-2018 season, where he carried our Rockets team to over 60. We won like 60 games that season.
Yeah.
Made it to the Western Conference Finals to go against the Warriors to only lose because of his injury.
All right. And that leaves us with the other quick question: the Eastern Conference, man. Who do you think's gonna take it, man? Who's gonna
Eastern
go at
Conference Finals?
Yeah. Who's gonna go at it?
For sure, the Bucks. I would say the Bucks versus the Heat.
Really?
Yes, I would see that. Happening. As far as like who winning the Eastern Conference, I still think it would be the Bucks, the former championship.
In my opinion, I think projected, Eastern Conference Finals will be between the Sixers or the Heat.
In the Eastern Conference?
Yeah.
Oh, no Bucks at all?
Nah, I don't think. I mean, you gotta keep in mind, PJ did have an effect on that team, which is why they made it.
That's true.
They won it. But
Yeah, with his
no longer
defensive
with
ability, yeah.
it. So with him on the Heat, obviously he's gonna bring in that effect to the team. So which is why I'm excluding the Bucks out. They're a championship team, but you forget. Keep in mind, it's because of PJ Tucker.
Yeah. Defense does with championships too.
Yeah,
People don't realize that as well.
Clearly with the Nets, man, it's all just.
Yeah, that's one of the things they lacked the most was depth. They had no defense. It was just nothing but scores. KD and Kyrie. There's like those two guys alone could carry that team. But if you have no defense or poor defense, you're not gonna make it far in the playoffs. We see that right now against the Celtics. And by the way, the Celtics are the number one defensive team in the NBA right now.
You never know. They could surprise everybody. We'll see how it goes from here.
Not to get sidetracked, but Kevin Durant in that last game, or today's game, he was getting locked up on his shots. I think he had almost more turnovers than field goals in the last two games I think he had. So he hasn't really been putting up the numbers that we would expect him to because of the Celtics team. The playoffs are a different beast.
Definitely.
That is all I gotta say.
Definitely. That's why it's my favorite time of the year.
This is when the
every team steps it up. They know what's at risk. Everybody has to put their part in to win it all. But out of that, man, one last question. Out of those 4 teams that we mentioned, who doesn't take it to the finals and win? Your opinion?
Like who's gonna go to the finals
and win it for this year?
I would say the Suns.
Suns.
Suns, mainly because of Chris Paul, his ability to basically he loves teamwork.
Yeah.
So I can see him. He's not greedy with the ball. He's gonna do whatever he thinks is best for his team, whether it's finding an open guy or just the way he thinks when he plays in the game. You have to really just see how he plays in all of these games. He thinks strategically. A lot of people may not like him because he likes to draw fouls and all of that, but that's just the mind of a point guard, in my opinion.
In my opinion, man, I think it's gonna be. That's a good one, but hopefully, projected it could be the Suns moving up to the finals against the 76ers. If that were to happen, oh boy,
What, the Suns versus the 76ers?
Yeah, because I'm picturing James Harden and Chris Paul, and so if Chris Paul wins man, it's gonna be highlights everywhere. That's what I'm saying.
That'd be funny.
That'd be funny. Like, wow.
But I still think the Suns will if that even were to happen, I would think it's the Suns that are going to win. I mean, we've seen time and time again with Harden in the playoffs. He doesn't really tend to show up at times.
Mhm.
So that's the only thing that's kind of holding me back when it comes to them competing.
No, that's just what I project that could happen, based on the teams. But then again, it's playoff season, so anything can happen.
Yeah.
So if there was the outcome, wow.
Right.
But that's it, everybody. I hope you enjoyed our podcast videos we did. And oh man, hopefully we get to see whoever wins. The Suns win it. This NBA 2022 finals. I'm sorry. I still have a lot of spice for me. I got spicy. So yeah, everyone, thank you once again. Peace out.
Yeah, thank you guys. Have a good one.